어떡해? 저리 보내? 네가 데려왔잖아.
Coucher comme ça, je ne veux pas t'entendre. Coucher, tais-toi. Et tu arrêtes. Bon, maintenant concentre-toi. 안녕하세요, 여러분.
고품격.
안녕하세요, 여러분.
고품격.
한불 문화 방송
프렌치호떡의 이제
소민입니다. My 발음 was a bit. 한불 문화 방송.
무거운 이야기일 수도 있는데 우리가 꼭 이야기하고 넘어가야 될 문제.
I mean, we already talked about it in the last video, but 제일 유명한 French newspaper들이 they are really talking about this problem, so it really shows the greatness of the impact of this problem. And this 문제 alone really brought a political debate in France. Donc évidemment, on parle de Ginity, cette streameuse qui a plus de 1 million d'abonnés sur Twitch, qui donc se baladait tranquillement dans Toulouse en live et qui s'est faite donc gratuitement agresser par un homme au niveau du Pont Neuf. Le mec frappe la caméra en disant des choses racistes et agressives. We already talked about it, like what happened, the huge Twitter bannings supporting Ginity, criticizing this 쓰레기 같은 남자. This is obvious, but the thing is, in France, through this 문제, you know, the political situation in France is very unstable. Honestly, a bit everywhere, in every country, absolutely different reasons. When I think about Korea or France, for example, but everything is very easily political these days, and especially this kind of 사건. As I said in the former video, I myself am so sad that France kind of became this easy violence 나라. Ginity, but as well other issues. I don't know if you know, but recently, like the Paris Saint-Germain, the football team, first time I think, or in a very long time, I think it's the first time, reached the finale of the Europe Cup. So they beat Arsenal in a semi-final, which is a huge team, right? They beat Arsenal, but then to celebrate, they burnt cars. Some cars bumped into people.
팬들이?
Yeah. Like, it happened a couple of days before Ginity 사건.
기쁜 거잖아. 기쁨을 왜 폭력으로 표출하지?
Exactly. That's France. I mean, that's
왜
no.
어쩌다 이렇게 됐냐, 진짜.
It's a silsu to talk like this. That's not France, but that's what can happen in France, and it happens for pretty much everything. Everything is a pretext to violence. People were already so 속상해 about after the match of Paris Saint-Germain, but then happened Ginity, so people are just fed up. Is it my country? Like violence happens for every possible reason every day. So obviously this kind of not feeling safe, violence, people bring it to politics, which is in a way very political as well, especially in France. This is nothing about my opinion. A lot of people, this is so complicated. Like through this Ginity 사건, some people are blaming the left wing because the left wing is protecting it's very complicated, but 쉽게 말하면, the left wing is protecting migrants. A lot of people are blaming the left wing for this immigration issue. They say that every time this kind of 사건 happen, it turns out that it's very often migrants or even sometimes French people with French nationality but coming from North Africa, from parents or whatever. There are these kind of people like really criticizing the left wing. Then some people saying that the right wing is gonna use this 사건 to manipulate people and make them believe that migrants are the problem. So everything is used and reused as a political tool. And Ginity really coached also on Twitter because of this political use that is happening around this 사건. First, people started to talk about Ginity, of course. 강하게 defended her. And then it led the way to political debates through Ginity and the Paris Saint-Germain 사건.
이게 또 다른 인종차별을 만들 수도 있는 문제이기 때문에
그러니까.
우리가 더 조심해서 사실 바라봐야 될 문제긴 하지. 근데 이제 아무래도 라이트 윙들은 난민이나 이주민이나 이민자 수용 문제에 대해서 회의적인 편이고 거기에서 이제 범죄 문제가 심각해지고 치안이 흔들린다라고 주장을 하니까
We don't know yet the identity of the aggressor. The origin of this person shouldn't even matter.
맞아.
From the moment it matters, this
분노미
becomes
나쁜 시작이지.
that becomes racism.
맞아.
Because ethnicity cannot become the reason or the explanation for any social behaviors or whatever. Because this is racism. It's a
맞아.
generalization of
한 사람이 전체를 대변할 수는 없는 거잖아.
And anyway, the concept of race doesn't exist. We are all human, divided in a way through different ethnicities due to different cultures and different history. We shouldn't care about the ethnicity or whatsoever from anyone.
이걸 어떻게 하면 현명하게 딜링할 수 있을까?
For me, the main problem is the lack of education. This is a fact, like some countries are developing themselves faster than others regarding the capability of investment in education, in good schools, the globalization, like the 사람들 이동 from some 나라 to some others. No, but it's too dangerous.
I know what you're saying. So tricky to
I
say.
can't.
Education is different.
근데 it's normal. Sadly, because, you know, France has been a colonizing country. We got richer before anyone else. Therefore, we could invest in education. But I can't say this because
근데 그게 this is what you wanna say잖아. 다른 사람 말에 빌려서 토픽을 주는 거야. Don't say this is your opinion. You can say
그래?
this.
I'm so proud of my opinion. I
아 그럼 그냥 넣어.
But anyway, these kind of issues are the later paid consequences of a post-colonial era, fast globalization. But for me, I can't. 진짜 무서워. 진짜 무서워. Because I know exactly what I want to say.
무서워.
근데, you know, I always feel like someone is going to use what I say. And for me, you know, like the main problem is the lack of education.
인종차별하는 사람들은 다 그냥 진짜 못 배워서 그래. 못 배워서.
못 배워서. Of course. This guy doesn't matter. The ethnicity, where he's born, his religion doesn't even matter. This is obviously someone that lacked deep proper education.
맞아.
And we should wonder why. You ask me how can we solve this problem? If you want to solve this problem, the only question we should ask ourselves, I swear, how come someone so uneducated is living like that in France? There is a problem in France.
자주 일어난 이런 일이니까.
Because this is obviously a problem of education. This is scientifically proved that 인간들이 다 똑같아. We are all the same. We are born the same. We have the same, unless you're lucky or unlucky, we have pretty much the same abilities in this life. All have the potential to learn and be educated. So how come in one country there can be such different education levels? This is the problem we have to fix. That's why education, and I'm not talking about mathematics or
human education.
Human education. I don't know if it's about accessibility, reforming the education, but there is obviously, for me, this is a problem of education. This is the only debate that should be at the center of the table. Obviously, no one gives a shit because it would cost too much money, too much effort. That's why it ends up to be like very low-leveled political debate. Left-wing loves migrants, therefore the country is unsafe. The right-wing, all the migrants should be out of the country because we are stuck in this very lame political debate when we are actually not talking about the right thing we should talk about. And politicians extreme right and extreme left fighting. That's what lead Macron 같은 사람, center party 사람 at the power of a country. Anyway.
어렵다.
Yeah. This second really raised debates about that. But sadly, again, I think for me, the only 중요한 point that we should be talking about is education and how come such poor educated person feels allowed at least to act like that in France.
나도 여행을 많이 해봤고. 요즘엔 또 유튜브 통해서 세계 여행 다니시는 분들의 컨텐츠들을 볼 수가 있잖아, 쉽게. 근데 너무너무 자주 그런 인종차별적인 인간이 인간으로 서로 리스펙트하면 절대 일어날 수 없는 일이거든. 나 자신한테 누가 그렇게 대했을 때 내가 싫은 건 남한테도 안 해야 되는 거잖아. 진짜 그게 못 배워서 하는 짓인 거지.
This is all about education. This is all that matters. I really realized my favorite classes, my universities, until today, in 2 classes that I got, I knew they were the best class I've ever had because I had this thought. 이 세상에 있는 모든 사람들이 만약에 이 수업을 듣게 되면 세상이 훨씬 더 나은 곳 될 것 같아서. This is a life-changing classes for me because this is pure education. It's nothing about skills. The most important skills is really social skills, sensibility skills, to be able to understand society and the world in general, the way you see the world. For me, this is the ilwi skill. That's why in some classes I'm really realizing education is everything. Is the solution to everything.
맞아. 무식한 건 창피한 거잖아. 근데 모를 수도 있어. 아직 배우지 않았으면.
Of course.
근데 뭔가를 몰랐어. 배웠어. 누가 가르쳐줘. 알게 됐어. 근데도 똑같은 짓을 하는 거 나쁜 거야. 이거는 더 이상 창피한 문제를 떠나서
For sure.
나쁜 evil
That's why
되는 거야. 진짜.
education is a filter. education 받아도 아직도 이런 행동하면 then 그냥 you go to 감옥, I don't know. You have to be dealt with.
솔직히 그 정도 남자, 그 정도 나이 들었어? 알겠지. 그런 짓을 하는 건 나쁘다는 거 안 된다는 걸. 그걸 안 배웠으면 말이 안 됐잖아. 에듀케이션의 문제도 사실 그 정도 나이 되면 말이 안 되는 게
아니야, 그럴 수 있어.
배웠어 분명히.
아니야, 어디?
안 배웠다고?
We don't know the social background of.
이게 나쁜 새끼야.
It
진짜.
seems crazy to us, but you know.
못 배워서일까? 아니면 알면서도
모르겠어.
그런 짓을 한 나쁜 새끼인 걸까?
모르겠어.
못 배웠으면 이제 배웠으니까 사과하시고 똑바로 사십시오. 제발 흥분되니까 우리도 막 이런저런 말 주고받았는데 결론은 사실 그냥 그거야. 인간으로서 서로 존중하고 모르면 배우고 배움으로써 같은 실수를 반복하지 않는 것. 그게 더 나은 인간이 되는 방법 아닐까?
This song is very 어렵다. C'est